Hi, this is Brass Check, and we're recording this on, what day is it? Saturday, March 7th, Saturday, March 7th. This somehow got overlooked by the vast majority of people. Um, right after Charlie Kirk got shot, I said conclusively, there is no way Tyler Robinson did the shooting. Period. End of story. And that's just becoming clearer and clearer and clearer as the days go on. Meanwhile, you remember, let's go to this now. All right, remember this little innocent, harmless character in his furry pajamas, and he's all trans and has to be treated with great tenderness and carefulness. This is the roommate of Tyler Robinson. This is the media picture that we were given of the roommate of Tyler Robinson. His name is Lance Twiggs. And they were very quick to make sure we got this picture and no other picture of this dude. Connected to that is the fact that this guy just completely disappeared off the face of the earth. Our bloodhound news media that never stops in their endless mission to bring the truth to Americans just let this guy disappear. Right? It's kind of strange. Roommate of the killer. You'd think he'd be on TV all day and night. You think they'd be hounding him. But no, no, no. This tender little boy um, was given complete protection by the news media. I think by the FBI too. I don't think they've even talked to him. I think they talked to him once. All right, so let's look at what this guy really looks like. And we have to thank the British news media, which they're still the best spies in the world. This is what Lance Twiggs actually really looks like. Well, that's a little different. They got another picture of him. Ooh, that's very different. First of all, uh, he doesn't seem like a little boy in his pajamas anymore, does he? He looks like a strapping youth. He's got excellent military posture. And let's take a close look at his face. Now, I don't like to judge people based on their appearance, but if I was hiring thugs and he showed up, I would interview him. All right, now let's now listen to the actual recording of the police radio the day of the shooting. Here we go. I'll play it a couple of times. This is who they saw, who was never arrested, by the way.
Puppy male, dressed in all black, blue-length hair, aviator glasses, black bag, and a long gun.
All right. Male, obviously, they didn't say boy in his pajamas.
Puppy male, dressed in all black, blue-length hair, aviator
Shoulder length hair.
glasses, black bag, and a long gun.
One more time.
Puppy male, dressed in all black, blue-length hair, aviator glasses, black bag, and a long gun.
Oops. Shoulder length hair. He's even got the black hat. But no, no, no. This is who the news media. This is who the news media showed you. Showed you this instead of this or this or this. So the lies just keep on coming. And the reason this is worth continuing to pay attention to is, one, we've been lied to massively. Also, somebody's life is at stake. You shouldn't really try and execute, which is what they want to do. They want to execute this kid as fast as possible. You shouldn't really try and execute an innocent person. Not saying that Lance Twiggs did it, but I am saying that, boy, they are doing everything they possibly can to shield your tender eyes from the reality of who Lance Twiggs was. And why this matters is Well, we've got the war in Iran, which Charlie Kirk, regardless of what you think of him, was vocally against. Vocally against. Now, if you were planning a misguided war against a country that's not going to give up, somebody made this point, and I don't know why I didn't think of it myself, but I'll relay it to you. If you've been around a long time, you know that the U.S. funded Iraq to attack Iran continuously. I believe over 1 million Iranians died. I think it was like an 8-year long war. Um, these people are used to hardship. These people are used to long wars, unlike the Israelis, who we see, weeping and wailing um, in their bunkers. They're gonna last, and it looks like they have pretty good technology, and it looks like that trillions of dollars of technology that we've installed all over the Middle East doesn't work that well, and it's easy to take out, which is what the Iranians are doing. If you're watching Fox News, God help you, or even CNN, but they are methodically taking out the eyes and ears of the U.S. Military-industrial complex in the Middle East. And, you know, you don't have to be a big guy. Just throw sand in somebody's eyes and the fight's over. Um, and that's what they're doing. And they also have the means to hit very, very hard, which they're doing and will continue to do. Very interesting news thing that happened. One of these idiot news people was interviewing a um, Iranian diplomatic person and said, "Are you concerned about the Americans physically invading your country?" And he looked in the camera and very calmly said, "We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it." Right? Remember, these are people that were engaged in non-stop battle against the U.S. armed Iraqis for years and years and years and years. They have people my age who lived through that, who are now in senior military positions. They've spent the last 40 years preparing for the next assault on their country. Um, we'll see how it goes. But to bring this back to Charlie Kirk, one of the many reasons Charlie Kirk had to go is he would have rallied um, millions of young people to oppose what's going on right now. And you cannot have that kind of power and talk about peace in this country. I can talk about it, you can talk about it, but you can't be Robert F. Kennedy, not Jr., the father. You can't be Robert F. Kennedy. You can't be Martin Luther King. You can't be Malcolm X. You can't even be John Lennon. And if you're a longtime press check viewer, you know that there are so many holes in the John Lennon assassination story that it points to just one thing. They wanted him dead. Why? Because he's sitting there with his guitar. He could snap his fingers in the morning and have 1 million people in Central Park that afternoon and put on a peace concert. That's real power. And that was not permissible. So John Lennon, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy, John Kennedy, because he dared to oppose the Israelis, and Charlie Kirk is in that group, and that's why they took him out. And they, you remember all these photos I showed you of the great Lance Twiggs. They put that fake photo out immediately, and they've never shown you another photo since. They have never shown you another photo since, correct? So what does that tell you? And of course, they're protecting him, that he's wrapped in cotton and can't be touched. Now, he might not have taken the shot. I'm actually thinking that Kirk was electrocuted and maybe shot at the same time. I don't know, that thing he held, the microphone, because you saw that jolt. Um, and apparently his right hand was burned, and people saw it, and there's photographs of it. Another thing you've not been told. And remember Erica Kirk and, his hands, they do a lot of things when they prepare people for burial, and they will put in fake hands. And if you go back and look at that disgusting display of the psychopath Erica Kirk crying over her dead husband's hands, that was a big dude. He was like, was he six? I don't know. He was tall, and he had big hands. And she's small, and I assume has small hands unless she's a freak. And if you look at the actual um, scene where she's putting her hands on his hands, her hands are bigger than his, which means those might have been prosthetic hands put in, fake. I mean, it's showbiz, embalming and preparing bodies is a bit of showbiz. And if a hand has been badly damaged and can't be um, cosmetically repaired, they'll put in a fake one. And they have to put in two of them because it would look weird, right? But anyway, just go back and look at that and ask how in the world did this man's hand shrink while his wife's hands grew? So that's why I think, believe it or not, I think he might have gotten a huge super shock through the microphone. I mean, that might sound like crazy talk, but in any event, they did a very good job from minute one, second one, to uh, hide the real situation of how he was killed. And then, of course, you've got, you know, his staff just completely relaxed, like, oh yeah, okay, it happened. Okay, let's go to work now. Incredible. But anyway, the main reason that boy was killed, and I call him a boy because I'm much older than him, and he was a young guy. He had all time in the world to straighten his head out. Um, and he didn't get that time. But he was clearly against war in Iran. He was clearly against the genocide in Gaza. And that's why he was killed. And that's why it's worthwhile to talk about Charlie Kirk and not forget him. Um, all right, that's it. Brass check.
Brass Check TV, free to you, not free to us. We've got a server bill, we've got an email software bill, we've got a tech helper bill, and that happens every month. So to everybody that is supporting us financially, that's paying for their subscription in one way or another, we really appreciate it. If you're not, consider doing so. Everybody's got money for the newspaper and the cable bill and all that. Do you have money for media that's actually serving you? That's really the issue here. And when you help us, it allows us to get this information out to the world. So thanks to all our supporters, and if you're not a supporter already, please consider becoming one.